probably my best CEX find ever. Certainly pound for pound. And I still can't believe I picked this up for just £2.
What you know about retro ghetto? Collecting and playing retro. Lock into the retro ghetto.
Hi everybody and welcome back to the Retro Ghetto for what is a very impromptu video. I hadn't planned on making this, but I've had a few finds over the last couple of weeks that I really wanted to highlight. And I wanted to highlight them before we make the move across to the newly completed Retro Ghetto 3.0. That's right, it's done. For those that don't know, I've had a series running on my channel of building what is my dream video games room from the ground up. And I'm delighted to say it's now finished and I'm living my best life, moving all my stuff across to that room to get all of my collection into one place. I can't wait to get going. And obviously I'm going to be taking you guys along for the journey with me, moving my whole collection under one roof, moving everything around, arranging it and getting it all how I want it to be. This is probably going to be the last video that you will see in this room, the Retro Ghetto 2.5, which has definitely served its purpose but somewhat outstayed its welcome. I outgrew this room a long time ago. But as I say, there's a few things I found over the last couple of weeks, including a CEX find which I think is probably my best CEX find ever, certainly pound for pound. It cost me just £2 and I still can't believe I picked this up for just £2. But before we get into that, I want to show you some amazing finds that I had on eBay. Now the first thing that I want to show is something I've been after for a few months. There's two of these available under different collector's editions. I already own one and I'm a guy of symmetry. I bought this very much with display in mind, so I had to have the pair. And that is the Scorpion mask from Mortal Kombat 11. This is part of the MK11 collector's edition. As I say, I already had the Sub-Zero one, so I had to have the pair. I can't wait to get these displayed in the aforementioned 3.0. Fun fact, I've never really put much time into the Mortal Kombat 11 game. It does look like great fun, but because I'm such a big Street Fighter fan, I can't really play Mortal Kombat because my brain won't allow me to play more than one-on-one fighter at a time. I'm very much a Street Fighter guy, and yeah, I just can't dive from one franchise to another. I try and play Mortal Kombat like Street Fighter, which you can't do. And I don't really think that I ever give the game the time it deserves because of that. But maybe if Street Fighter 6 doesn't hit the heights that I'm hoping it will, I might have to jump over to Mortal Kombat 11 and see if I can get into that. But yeah, very, very happy to have this. They're quite expensive pieces to pick up. There's not an abundance of them available and people want quite a lot of money for them. Yes, I'm very, very happy and very fortunate to own both of them. And as I say, I just can't wait to find room for these in the 3.0. Very, very happy to add both of these to my collection.
Retro ghetto.
Okay, I do not collect Funko Pops. I've spoken on this channel before how I used to collect them. I had hundreds. And luckily for me, I got there before they really took off. I was very early into Funko Pops, which meant that I bought a lot of them which had a lot of value. So when I decided that the hobby was no longer for me and I didn't want to collect them anymore, I was fortunate enough to make quite a lot of money on selling my collection, moving it on, because as I say, I had a lot of the earlier and rarer models that came out. However, Funko being Funko, they have so many different franchises and artists and programs that they make these pops for, that every now and again there will be one which it will just pull you in. This for me is the best Funko they've ever released. I absolutely love this thing. And I made the mistake of not buying it when it came out. I just kind of thought I'll get it next week, I'll get it next week. Next week never came. Then the inevitable happened with Funko Pops, it got vaulted. The prices went through the roof and if you go on eBay for this now, it's become very expensive. Thankfully I finally managed to get one for a good price. And that is the Ice Cube Funko Pop Rides. This is from the It Was a Good Day video, a very iconic video in the hip hop world. I love everything about this. I love his flannel shirt. I love the gold 100 spokes. I love the details that have gone into what I believe is a Chevy Impala. I'm not huge on my American cars, but yeah. And I love the fact that it's kind of been built and slanted as if it's on hydraulic suspension. You can see on this side it's sitting low, and then on this side it rides higher. I love the way it sits. I just think this is the best Funko Pop they've ever made. Being a huge hip hop fan and a collector of hip hop toys and merchandise, this was something that I had to have in my collection. And I'm very, very happy to say that I do have it in my collection now. But that's it, categorically, I am not buying any more Funko Pops.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Huh? Retro ghetto.
Okay, so that was my eBay purchases, bought very much with the 3.0 and display in mind. However, a couple of days ago I went to CEX and as I say, I found something that I'm absolutely delighted to have and it kind of prompted me to make this video. But before that, I also wanted to show this that I found on the same day. That is Vanquish on the Xbox 360. And the reason I wanted to highlight this is because you guys know how much I love sleeve covers. This comes with a really nice lenticular sleeve cover. And if you remember, I did a video a while back where I tried to see how much of an Xbox 360 collection I could buy in 2020 for just £20. I also added a few games from my own collection, and then I gave it away to one of you guys, RJ Cullerton, if you're watching. Congratulations again, he's now got that collection in his house. Hopefully it got there in one piece, which I think it did. But yeah, the reason I wanted to highlight this is I just think this is good karma on my part, right? Because it hurt me to give away the copy of Vanquish that I found with the sleeve cover because I didn't already own it. And I said on the video that it was going to hurt me to give that one away. But I found one probably in even better condition. It was only like £1.50 at CEX. So yeah, I do think this is good karma. Very happy to have added this to my collection. Vanquish is a game I've heard great things about. Let me know in the comments if you've played it and if this is something that I should be putting towards the top of my list of games to play. Right, so let's move on then to what I think is my best CEX find of all time. And that is WWE 2K13. You might be thinking, well, what? Well, let me explain. This is the Austin 316 edition. Now, often at CEX, not every game in every collector's edition is inputted into their spreadsheet. So sometimes the game just comes at the standard price. The standard price of WWE 2K13 on the PlayStation 3 is just £2. So not only does it come with this very, very nice sleeve cover, you can see it's like foil backed of Stone Cold's skull. I should also point out that this was definitely my era, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm not a huge wrestling fan anymore, but when I look back to my early teenage years, Stone Cold was the guy, right? The Attitude Era, and this was very much in keeping with when I was in love with wrestling. So you take off the really nice sleeve cover, and it has a different cover on the game, so nice artwork, Stone Cold. So already, like, I'm thinking this is a great buy, because I didn't realise all this until I'd actually already bought it, because I only bought it for the sleeve cover. I was kind of looking at it in traffic in the car on the way back. So I opened it up and there's a Stone Cold Steve Austin documentary. Brilliant. Can't wait to watch that. This is a fantastic deal for £2, right? It gets even better. Not only is there a Stone Cold Steve Austin DVD documentary and of course the game, there's also like a download code and stuff which I probably won't get to. But what I could not believe it, and I was there like in my car to like double take, this actually comes with a hand-signed Stone Cold Steve Austin photo card. Guys, this cost me £2. And as I say, Stone Cold Steve Austin for me is the GOAT. It's my favourite wrestler of all time. It was definitely a moment for me growing up. Him and Vince McMahon, that beef was, yeah, that was everything to like a 13-year-old me growing up. I just couldn't believe my eyes. I thought, is that real? This is hand-signed. I did a little bit of research into these. I think they're only available in the UK at game stores. And there's like none of these on eBay. I had a look. There's an Xbox 360 one on eBay available for £100, which you would imagine the PS3 one would hold more value than the Xbox 360 as it normally does. There's a couple of sold listings, but they didn't always have the signed photo card. So I don't really know what it's worth. What I do know is it's worth more than £2. I'm not selling it anyway. This is one for me. This is one for my collection. I've got to give a shout out to the manager extraordinaire Manesh at the CEX because he sort of pointed me towards this. I'm just in love with this, and the fact it cost me £2, guys, don't give up on CEX. Sometimes, like, you go in there, you see nothing. You go in again, you see nothing. You start thinking to yourself, I'm sure we've all been there where we walk past the CEX store, you know, because we just think, can't be bothered today. There's nothing in there. Always go in and have a look. This, to me, just reignited my passion to make sure no matter what you're doing, no matter how much the missus is moaning because she wants to get home or whatever, you're going in CEX and you're having a look on those shelves because you never know what you might find. Yeah, to find that for just £2 for me, I'm still happy now, and it was about 3 days ago. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch this. I know it's quite a short video, and if there has been any disruption to the schedule over the last week or so, apologies. But as I say, I'm currently living my best life. As you're watching this, I will be in the 3.0 arranging this. I'm going to be working morning, noon and night to get that room exactly how I want it. Even though the room's built, the journey's just begun, and I'll be showing you guys every step along the way as to how I'm going to make it my perfect video games room. And of course, we're going to be working our way to what will be the Retro Ghetto 3.0 video game room tour. Again, thank you everybody for taking the time to watch, and thank you for taking the time to watch the 3.0 series. Play your games, keep it retro. I'll see you all real soon. Take care.
Retro Ghetto.